Morning. So sometimes people get confused when I say that I have a systemless system with my energy work. And what I really mean by that is that through the decades of working with other people's systems, I realized, oh, everybody's unique. I feel like I'm entering into someone's very unique planet, and even the waiting to get invited. So my practice is very feminine, and you wait and sit at someone's boundary, wherever that may be. Everyone's boundaries are changing, and you just wait and are shown the best way to interact with that person, whether that means you don't ever touch them, you put your hand somewhere, the quality of your touch, how you need to show up. I actually call it like a change of state that we go through to be able to enter into someone's field. Back in the day, I was a trained fire walker. I used to teach people how to walk on fire and not get burned. And one of the teachings that my teacher had given me was that in the Kalahari, the Kung tribe that I just mispronounced massively, they say that you need to become fire itself. Your Num, your life force, needs to be like fire to not get burned. And the way I started to access that was actually, I would pray, I would sit with the spirit of the fire and really tune in, because the spirit's always a little different. And I would kind of surrender myself. And then I realized to become fire, it's like I had to become love. And there had to be this deeper grace and reason for why I was walking. So my experience of being able to walk on fire and not get burned. And there were some magical moments that it took me being in a really deep state to access this, but where I would actually I remember one evening, I picked up the coals and I could just let them drizzle down my body and I didn't get burned. And that's not my normal. It's not like I could walk by and just pick some coals out of fire and just start to spread it around my body and then I'm fine. This shit's real. This shit's real. You'll get burned. So it was remarkable to me, the change of state I would go through, and that it actually was an access to a much deeper current of love. And to me, that's how the energy work is as well. So it's not like I'm sitting there I've trained all this. I know my anatomy. I know what's good for you. And I'm going to go from memory as to what I think is best for you. It's a little bit scary to work the way I work, because you have to trust yourself and you have to be open to the void, where it's I need to drop my own agenda. I need to not let my fear of needing to do a good job or to please you, or the fact that you're giving me money, that part of me that always needs to be validated, I need to ignore that. And I just need to sit deeply and listen. And that's actually how I've learned so much. People are like, how did you learn all this about energy? What's the book? What's the training? And I'm like, because I fucking sit in this field every single day. I listen so deeply. And it really takes a willingness to be raw. And there's the magic, because what got me into meditation in the first place, 1997, I sat with myself for the first time and I was like, oh my God, I don't need someone to tell me how to think or what the answer is. There's a way to contact it on the inside. And that's my passion. And so I'm not for everyone in terms of when you come for an energy healing session, there's a lot that happens. But I'm very passionate about you contacting your inner authority, your connection to God, the part of you that knows. Let's stop being robots. Let's stop just unconsciously out of fear, parrot and recreate all the other teachings because we're scared to actually say what our real wisdom is. Do we have the guts to touch it for ourselves? And that's kind of what my role is to help you contact that for yourself. So going back to the individual systems that we have. I mean, it's so cool because it's just like everyone is so different. So when I work with you, I am looking at, well, what's your flow like? What's your color like? What's your texture like? You know, where are you not really being you? What have you taken on that's not actually you? What actually helps you be in your flow? And what can be helpful, though, that you can start doing now is if you start to let yourself feel your own sensations in your body, and so that means like coming into your body and feeling it, so that you can start to feel what your yes is and what your no is, what helps you feel more like yourself, and where you feel like, oh, well, by doing this, like I feel a little confused or drained or not me. So you have to start to trust your own inner sensations, but you can do this so that you can start to know what's you and what really supports the expansion of you. You know, we could say that healing is actually bringing someone home to themselves. Like, we are not here meant to be more. We are here to be ourselves. I call it the Wizard of Oz. Like, we go on these big journeys to find out, oh, I had it all along. You know, that heart was already there. I just didn't know. But we have to go on the journey. You know, it's like that's part of the magic. So, because if we look energetically, we want something that supports your field, where your field really can expand as itself. And it's going to be different for everyone. So, you know, most of us have that little kid inside of us that's like, I want to belong, I want to fit in. And, you know, like we show up and it's like everyone else seems like they're having fun doing something. And, you know, we feel almost guilty because it's like, it's just not getting us off. And so it's like, how can you own what your own inner pleasure is? What lights you up? You know, I've got my list that other people would be like, what? Like, I love tiny little things. That just gives me pleasure. It's like, it could be a spoon, a cup. It could be like a little tiny container. I mean, just tiny things make me happy. You know, colors are so important. And I think it's important that you actually do recognize when you need to wear certain things, because that also will start to nourish the vibration of your field. We could talk a lot about this. Granted, I am talking at you, but I could talk a lot about this. But this is my invitation to you, is that, you know, as you're, you know, if you're going to look for trainings and studies, what will help you contact your wisdom inside? Because there's, like, you literally have the universe there. You literally have the connection to all the ancients. You have the connection to the past and the future. You know, how can you get that current? And we all express and learn in a different way. So it's your way to get there is going to be your way. But how can you get that contact there? Because we don't need to keep piling on more information. And sometimes it's helpful, but you've got to make it your own, and you've got to be able to run it through your own system and have a contact to your own inner authority. And that is my invitation to you. I hope you're feeling joyful wherever you are, maybe a sense of humor wherever you are, and just your ability to ride these sometimes very crazy waves. Sending love.